This is a song I wrote about living in the present moment, and it's called Why Not Just Be Happy? I was surprised to wake this morning, happy without a reason why. My hair's in my face and I'm not organized yet, but I feel good, I feel alive. I have the choice to get hung up and doubt it, but I think to myself, why not just allow it? Why not just be happy where I stand? Why not just be happy and let my heart dance? Why not just be happy with no plan? Why not just be happy because I can? I turn off the TV and tune into me. Who am I now? What is my next dream? I don't need the news to know what's vital. I'm the event that's happening. This moment is a gift, let it be worth it. No need to wait, this is my day, it's perfect. Why not just be happy where I stand? Why not just be happy and let my heart dance? Why not just be happy with no plan? Why not just be happy because I can?
Oh, God.
Amen. There you go. Thank you so much, India. Thank you for sharing not only your original piece, but for helping us to begin this beautiful service this morning. I'm Reverend Paula Skiles, the Unity Church of San Marcos, and I get to be blessed as being the senior minister here. And so this morning we began with our fourth Sunday of lessons based on the book Lessons of the Turtle, Learning to Live Right Side Up by Steve Goodyear. So today happens to also be Father's Day. And we are so blessed to have some fathers with us today. And we're very grateful for your expression and your sharing with us today. I'm particularly fond of my own father who passed, but I remember so much of what he had to present to me in life. And I think about the work of what it means to be a father in this world, to father, to bring into expression something wonderful, something powerful through the children that are brought into the father's life. And not only that, but I do feel like that it's also a wonderful blessing that the children bring into the father's life as well. So as we begin this morning, I'd like to focus on as a human race, our divine Father for a moment, and what Spirit has brought us in this world, and the blessings of how we've been provided for, and how we are always being given an opportunity to learn and to become greater. And I think that's one of the gifts fathers bring into this world, is helping each person who is entrusted into their life to become better people as a result of learning who they are in this world. Okay, so our friend Turtle, as you may know, has 4 weeks now, and he's still upside down. Now, I know some of you have asked, when is Turtle going to get right side up? I'll tell you, it's not today. But there is good news, so let us continue. So, because for Turtle, since Turtle found himself upside down after having chosen a different path for himself, and the results of that path was he ended up upside down, he has discovered the gift of the accident, which was the lesson of choice. And then the gift of the tree, which was the lesson of honor. And the gift of the clouds, as he looked around, and the lesson of affirmation. So today, he learned something new. So let us check in on Turtle for a few moments, shall we? Now, Turtle, upside down, is looking around, and he sees a butterfly, and it lands right on his nose. Now, you know butterflies. They're so beautiful. But the butterfly is speaking to Turtle and says to Turtle, "Do you know how silly you look?" And of course, this does not strike Turtle as a very effective or helpful statement at all, right? And so Turtle snaps back, "Well, excuse me. Maybe you could just roll me over and I'll be on my way." Turtle has had enough of being upside down. And like many of us, when we are given input from that divine source, some of us look at it like, another growth experience? I don't think so. So Turtle is learning about another gift today. And it is the gift of the butterfly. So let's listen for a moment. He's listening to Butterfly, and she's just flittering. You know how butterflies flitter? She says, I don't think I've ever seen the bare belly of a turtle before. It's rather cute, actually. Turtle, still upset because his belly is getting sunburned, does not have a sense of humor about this. And he says, and Turtle is, just like nonplussed. Butterfly says, "Well, I wish I could stick around and shade your tummy. But as you know, time is short. Must be going." And off she flies. Well, fortunately, Owl, I think, is father today. I think he's being father about this whole thing through the whole experience for Turtle. What do you think? So Owl represents father, I believe. So for you fathers, think of yourselves as owls, the great owls today. Owl says, "Time is always short for Butterfly," which is one of the gifts she brings us. Now, Turtle obviously is doubtful that Butterfly has anything to offer, let alone a gift. And Owl says, "Oh, she does. Time is nothing for Butterfly if not short." And he says, "I expect to live a good many years myself. And you, my hard-shelled friend, if you ever get righted, will live much longer than I. Why, there are few creatures in this that outlive your kind. But Butterfly, she will be gone before the end of summer. She emerges as a tiny caterpillar from a minute egg, gorges herself silly for a little time, and then sleeps for a while in a cocoon while she changes into the beautiful creature we just witnessed, and then dies before summer is ended. She must cram a life's worth of living into just a matter of weeks. Not a moment is wasted for Butterfly." So in his effort to understand what Butterfly's gift is, Turtle says, "It must be busyness." No, Owl says, her gift is the lesson of now. Now is the time to live fully. Now is the time to act. For as you and I know, if a thing is worth doing, it's worth doing right now, right? Anybody ever have a dad talk about doing things right now and getting it done instead of putting them off? I had one. I want it done now. It didn't come out quite the same way, but that was the way it was. So the gift of the butterfly is the lesson of now. And my message today is titled Present Now. And it's about how you and I can live fully in this moment. So there's a story about a soap maker and a rabbi. So the soap maker goes to the rabbi, and he is a little flustered and put out. And he says, "I'm here to inform you that I am through with Judaism. You've told me that the aim of religion is to bring peace, justice, and a sense of charity into the world, but it has done nothing of the sort. And the rabbi pauses for a moment and then invites the soap maker to take a walk in the park with him. And as he's moving along, he points out this group of boys. And he says, look at those boys. They are filthy. They're dirty from head to toe. Now, these boys have been playing, right? What do boys do when they play? They get dirty, don't they? And the rabbi continues, I don't mean to be rude, for I know you are a soap maker, but it seems to me that soap is mostly ineffective. The soap maker looks at him and expounds, you've got to use soap in order for it to be effective. The rabbi smiles gently, and he says the same is true for religion. It has value only when the teachings and principles are applied to your life. Speaking of religion, Richard Rohr had an observation he made, a statement I would like to share with you about religion and Christianity, per se. He said, we worshiped Jesus instead of following him on his same path. We made Jesus into a mere religion instead of a journey toward union with God and everything else. This shift made us into a religion of belonging and believing instead of a religion of transformation. I honestly believe that Jesus meant it when he said, follow me into the regeneration. And I think that it's important that you and I take our faith out of the realm of religion and into the realm of transformation within you and me. And in order to do that, we have to be present now. Okay? So I want to share how Jesus was constantly teaching us how to do that and how to be about it. And this one verse, you might not think at first, is about that. But listen in as we take advice, or we take the teaching of Jesus, who was trying to father, to bring into this world the kingdom of heaven, if you will, right? Wasn't that what he was always talking about doing, is bringing forth the kingdom of heaven on earth? All right, so I see Jesus as the father of that one. He said in Matthew 10:32 and 33, everyone therefore who shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father who is in heaven. But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father who is in heaven. Now, confession, for many centuries, for most of Christianity, has simply been a ritual in which someone went to a priest and confessed the sins of their lives. But this word confess has, from Jesus, so much more depth and meaning than just saying, you know, I believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior and I'm saved, okay? There was, in honesty, it means to give evidence of. That the way Jesus is using this word confession, it means to give evidence of Christ in our lives. And that in that process, you and I get to experience that sense of Jesus confessing, giving evidence to Spirit in heaven. And so what does that mean for you and I? Think about it a moment. Giving evidence of the Christ in us. As you and I continue to give evidence for the outer world, we are continually being given that inspiration, that understanding, that knowledge, that truth that helps us to do the same thing. So it's like a circle of life. I know we've heard that term before. But when we deny, what are we doing when we deny? We're shutting ourselves off from it. Okay. All right. So it's meant so much more about what Jesus I see is that Jesus was talking about that spiritual reality, bringing forth heaven on earth. And that's what he was saying really, whenever he's saying, when you confess me, I will confess you before my Father who is in heaven. Is that you and I are giving evidence to the spiritual reality of the heaven on earth in our lives. Okay, so how are we going to do all that? Now that is the question, isn't it? Because there is a physical reality that you and I live in, but that spiritual reality of heaven on earth, that's a spiritual reality, a condition of mind and heart and being that you and I are meant to express and to share, to parent, to bring into expression, to birth into this world. Whether you're a mother or a father and having physical children, you and I are each meant to bring into, to parent that which is that infant of life, heaven. How? All right. I think the simplest way is to understand that we get to acknowledge God. How do you do that? Think about what God is. Think about what God is. God is love. What else? Peace. God is joy. God is life and beauty. What else is God? God is strength. God is knowledge. What are all the other qualities of being that God is?
Fun.
Time?
Fun.
Fun. God is fun. Yes. There are so many wonderful things that God is. God is something of the will of God. There's so many things. So let's think about it for a moment. If you and I are filling our very thoughts, and by thoughts, I don't mean just our thinking. I mean our feeling and our thinking. We're engaging both. If we're filling our thoughts with God, we are creating heaven. We are bringing forth heaven from ourselves into this physical. Because as you and I experience those thoughts, God thoughts of peace, God thoughts of love, God thoughts of joy, and we express those things to those around us, we are doing and being in heaven in that moment and bringing it forth. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but today. And that was Jesus was always saying, heaven is among you right now. Now. Confession is really giving evidence to that spiritual reality that you are a child of the Most High. You are a son. You are a daughter of Spirit. You are an expression, a brother, a sister to our way shower, our teacher, Jesus. So I hear him asking us to do this. I hear him in every message to be present now. And that's what you and I get to acknowledge, is that you and I, the spiritual man, the spiritual woman that you and I are, is actively seeking to express and to bring forth and birth that which is meant to be heaven on earth. Would you share with us some thoughts about that?
This is My Life Begins for Me Today. It's a hymn by Frank Whitney, and it's about living in the present. My life begins for me today. New worlds before me lie. The yesterdays have passed away, no more to cause a sigh. Before me lies the bright today, all blessings in its hold. And I rejoice to find life's way and sing its joys untold. Today for me begins brings anew a life that holds for me all that is good and real and true. Its blessings now I see. I look no longer to the past, nor wait for future days. For with today my lot is cast, its present joys I praise.
Thank you, India Taylor. We appreciate that. Yeah. So just to sum up what we've been thinking about this morning, as you and I make the choices in every moment, as you and I choose to be present now, you and I get to have the power to express heaven on earth. Okay? And it is a choice. And among other things, it is also faith that is needed. So I'm thinking about a beautiful Sanskrit writing, and it says, "It is up to us how we use our time, what we fill our days with, and the present is all we have." Now, I know a lot of us tend to put things off. Well, all right, I speak for myself. Sometimes I procrastinate. I have been known to want to enjoy just a few more minutes of not doing anything, right? I hear you. But the reality is you and I are spending our life in some way. Let us be cautionary that we don't allow others to spend it for us. Because that is the possibilities, isn't it? There's a sense when I think of how you and I can live in the present now. There's a sense that everything that you and I are looking for, all of the good, all of the possibilities that we seek, when you and I are praying, what are we praying for? And it could be for health for our friends. It could be the ending of COVID. It could be a number of things. It could be finances being restored. It could be a number of things in our world, right? But it requires looking beyond the circumstances, looking beyond them to seeing the possibilities, to seeing that possibility of good. And the reality is when Spirit made this universe and created it, it was made in a moment, just like this. And all the possibilities, all the good were made in that moment as well, just as much as you were. Your soul, your spirit, your light was made in that moment too, because on God's calendar there is only one thing, a moment of awareness. Think about it. What is time to us but each moment you and I being aware and then repeating it? So on God's calendar there's only now. Now. Can God make a tree that is 2 years old in a second? Yes, but it'll take you and I 2 years with our human eyes to see it. And our dreams are the same way. God can make anything happen in a moment, but it may take you and I several months, days, years, whatever it is, to bring that into being and to see it whole, complete, and realized. That's not saying that we're bad or wrong, that we're not doing it right. It simply is a part of the process for us in this time. But you and I get to know that it's already there. It's done. God has created that possibility. The possibility for prosperity, the possibility for health, the possibilities for, they're already there. Joy, love. They're right now, present, now. Okay. The fields. You've heard this. Jesus said, look now. The fields are ripe for harvest. And they apparently, if you listen to the Bible, they really weren't yet ready, right? But that wasn't what his message was about. His message was about us holding a vision, holding the possibilities, and making certain that that is possible by being present. If you and I are worrying about the future, and if you are living in the regrets and resentments of the past, we can't be present to the hopes and the joys and the wonders of what's possible now. Now. Because now is when we're going to create that. Now is when we're going to have those inspirations that Spirit comes and brings to us. Now, Turtle, we're going to speak about Turtle for a moment again, is wanting something now. But he's being given an opportunity as he's upside down, and I know a lot of us are upside down in our world. He's being given an opportunity to look at things differently. And it's when you and I are in pain, or when we're suffering, or when we're upside down in our world, that sometimes we can see something we couldn't see before. Or that we get to learn those lessons that many fathers seem to be the ones who offer us in our lives. The most important ones that help us to see who and the possibility of who and what we can do and be. There's this story about a group of Americans who decided to take a trip on the Amazon. And so they had a group of native people helping them along this trip. And the first day, they're rushing down the river. The second day, they're rushing through the river. They're taking their pictures, they're doing everything, but they're rushing, right? Anyone familiar with this thought? The third day, they rush down the river. And on the fourth day, get up, prepared, all ready to go again. They were all ready. And none of the guides were doing anything except sitting in a big circle. And they asked, "What's the delay?" And one of the guides told them, "We can't move yet. We're having to wait for our souls to catch up with our bodies." You ever had have your soul catch up with your body? What do you think that might feel like? Overwhelmed, maybe? Disconnected, maybe, from our body and our soul? What else do you think that might feel like? If we have been rushing about, if we've been running here and there with our thoughts, our thinking and our feeling are just like butterfly, right? But butterfly was at least living fully, right? There's a wonderful comedian, Stephen Wright. He said, "I just bought a microwave fireplace. You can spend a whole evening in front of it in only 8 minutes." We can live microwave lives, or you and I can confess to the Spirit of Christ that lives in you and I and experience that sense of heaven in our lives. Present now. Woodrow Wilson said, "You are here to enrich the world, and you impoverish yourself if you forget the errand." We're not born by happenstance. Each of us comes here to be an expression, the unique expression that you and I are of God in this world. And we can't do that if we're not willing to at least let that heaven on earth exist for us and through us, and to hold the vision of that in our thinking and our feeling. So I bless you as you and I enter into the kingdom of heaven. We can hold for Turtle being turned right side up and appreciate the lessons that Turtle is sharing, and that Owl, the father in our story, is helping Turtle to reveal. Whatever I was going to say, who knows, but to reveal, to uncover, to discover. Yes. So I encourage us thank you for being with me today as we continue to hold turtle, living right side up. As you and I take the lessons of letting go of anger quickly, or loving people that are in our lives like we've never loved before, or letting go of hurt from 20 years ago. Whatever it is, I bless you, because there is no better time than to be present now in living right side up.
All right. Let's release and let go then and live in the present moment. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggles, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggles, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm